told you Jimmy Kimmel was going to be a problem. Now Disney knows just how big a problem they have on their hands. The ABC late night not so funny man is being told to exit television by none other than the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump. But will new CEO Josh D'Amaro make his first big decision as head honcho and dump Jimmy Kimmel? We'll tell you why. It's likely Wall Street will decide. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we never shy away from the news, even when it's tough to do so. We dive in deeply into entertainment, and especially when it involves the House of Mouse. As we dive in, click the like button, please, and subscribe. Take a look at this from First Lady Melania Trump. It says, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. You never see Melania speak out this way. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. We'll play what he said in just a minute. People like Kimmel should not have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward. Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. And I'll insert here for the First Lady. Don't forget that it is Kimmel whose show is produced by his wife. His wife is in charge, and she is vehemently political, vehemently anti-Trump, to the point that they take their kids places with signs. For vacays, they go and protest the Orange Man. Melania finishes with this. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? I'd like to substitute ABC for Disney there, since Disney owns ABC. Now, you all remember that Kimmel lied about Charlie Kirk and his supporters, and about the nature of the person who deleted him from the face of the earth. You'll recall that we have had reporting on here that Jimmy Kimmel's crew tried to force Erica Kirk to join him on his show under certain stipulations, just to get even more ratings after the heinous things that he said. Jimmy Kimmel, we are no fan of his. Why? Because I find him to be a despicable person who has no low to which he will not go. He will say and do anything to attack. He is absolutely lost. No logic exists with him. He is just a partisan hack, and he is empowered by the Disney company. The Walt Disney Company, you see, also brought Jimmy Kimmel back after he said such heinous and terrible things about Charlie Kirk and damaged his family. They brought him back. And why? Because Hollywood demanded that they bring Jimmy Kimmel back. Hollywood said to Disney, we won't give you any more directors, actors, writers, etc. if you keep Kimmel off the air. And so Bob Iger and Dana Walden got together, according to Kimmel, and brought him back. And Dana Walden was part of that. She's number 2 at Disney. So for Josh D'Amaro, he has to make a decision that would ultimately upend his number 2. Here's what Jimmy Kimmel had to say. This is part of it, folks. It's not all of it. We went over this yesterday in a video, the full length of depravity. I mean, Kimmel is talking about the genitalia of the president. I mean, it's just so beneath. And we talked about this in the video yesterday. Kimmel, he's Disney. So take down the quotes of Walt Disney. If you can dream it, you can build it. Take down those quotes in Disney World and Disneyland and put up the stuff about presidential genitalia that Jimmy Kimmel is saying, because he's a Disney man. Here's what has the First Lady so upset.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
There you go. Kimmel has no low. Kimmel has no low. From Deadline, from Ted Johnson, Donald Trump says Jimmy Kimmel should be immediately fired after late night host's expectant widow joke. Says Donald Trump has again called on ABC, that's Disney, to immediately fire Jimmy Kimmel, this time over a joke that the late night host made last week about First Lady Melania Trump being an expectant widow. With these kinds of jokes. And folks, you think about it this way. Roseanne Barr made a very unkind joke about Valerie Jarrett. The reason I can say it's an unkind joke is because I don't play politics here. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican in terms of like these kinds of things. You can be civil. You don't have to be an immature adult with a mentality of a third grader being put on a network airwaves every night. It's ridiculous. This man spews things worse than what you'll find on a bathroom stall in some sort of third world gas station restroom. Jimmy Kimmel is empowered by Disney. When Roseanne Barr said what she said about Valerie Jarrett, which was unkind, and maybe she didn't know, maybe she didn't realize, but it was unkind, Disney let her go. When Gina Carano refused to fall for the entrapment attempts by Lucasfilm, to trick her into stepping into identity politics. They ceremoniously fired her. Here's Jimmy Kimmel teasing what happened the next day. An attempted deletion of the president yet again. It's monumentally worse than the other things that I just said. In fact, I think Gina is completely innocent of anything. Roseanne Barr definitely, stepped across a line, but forgiveness, she was not allowed to have that, right? This is 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. What are you going to do, Disney? What are you going to do, Josh Tomorrow? Says the quip made during a monologue skit on Thursday has drawn new attention following Saturday's shooting at the White House Correspondents Association dinner. Trump and the First Lady, along with the other administration officials, were rushed off the dais in the aftermath as attendees got on the floor or under tables until it was clear. Trump posted on Truth Social on Monday, wow, Jimmy Kimmel, who is in no way funny, as attested to by his terrible television ratings, and I know those ratings better than just about anybody. Jimmy Kimmel has 2 million viewers per night. He's bested by Gutfeld. For comparison, Jay Leno and Letterman used to get 10, 12 million viewers. Again, when we're looking at Kimmel, he's getting 1/6 of Leno and Letterman numbers. And don't even go to Carson, because you don't want to know how badly Kimmel performs in comparison to that. Says he showed a fake video of the First Lady, Melania, and our son, Barron, like they were actually sitting in his studio listening to him speak, which they weren't and never would be. He then stated, and you saw it, a day later, a lunatic tried entering the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, loaded with a weapons, let's say. He was there for a very obvious and sinister reason. I appreciate that so many are incensed by Kimmel's despicable call to violence and normally would not be responsive to anything that he said, but this is something far beyond the pale. Jimmy Kimmel should be immediately fired by Disney and ABC. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Joining the calls by Melania Trump to let him go. Emily Gooden writing this about the New York Post. This is everywhere. It says, President Trump called on ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel on Monday after the comedian referred to Melania Trump as an expectant widow. There you can see the mock version that Kimmel had. It says, the Trump administration launched an all-out assault on Kimmel and also went after Democratic lawmakers who were critical of the president, saying their rhetoric led to incidents like the one that took place Saturday night. Quote, who in their right minds as a wife would be glowing over the potential deletion of her beloved husband, asked White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on Monday. And having experienced what I did with the First Lady on Saturday night, I can tell you that she was anything but. Leavitt, who is 9 months pregnant, was seated at the head table at Saturday night's dinner next to the First Lady. And of course, you all have seen the video of Erica Kirk. We played that. Erica being led out and saying, I just want to go home. Why? There's more violence. More violence aimed at a particular side. It is time for the Walt Disney Company to be responsible enough and mature enough to let Kimmel go. I don't think they need to cancel Kimmel. We don't believe in cancellations. We want to hear what idiots have to say because it lets us know who the idiots are. So they don't have to let Kimmel go. They don't have to break his contract. They can move Kimmel to Hulu or Disney Plus, and he can spew this hateful, divisive, awful rhetoric all day and all night for people who want to listen to it, although I surmise it would be very few. They don't have to do what the left sometimes does, which is ban him from public life ever again. In fact, I think that would backfire badly. But there's no reason that Jimmy Kimmel should still be on the airwaves, on public airwaves, on ABC, shared across the nation, given to Disney by the people, we the people, because we do. Network TV goes on our airwaves. We own it. There's no reason that Jimmy Kimmel should continue to do so. The reason is very simple. Because Jimmy Kimmel, I believe now, has reached the level. One time was a crime, right? Not legally so, but ethically so, when he did the thing with Charlie Kirk. The second time, I'm over it. You're over it. We're all over it. It's time for Jimmy Kimmel to go. He is not a reasonable, sensible person. He's not a stable person such that he should be entering the TVs of the nation in the way that he is. He is egregiously, I believe now, inciting the kind of danger that should not befall world leaders, and certainly not the leader of the free world. And he's doing so in a way that subjugates the votes and the beliefs of everybody who is opposed to him to the whims that he wants to see carried out. Jimmy Kimmel is the kind of guy who yells fire in a crowded theater, and then when everybody leaves the crowded theater because they believe there was a fire, Jimmy Kimmel says, oh, you guys thought that was real? I would never do that. I would never. Because he'll get up on stage and cry again like he did after the Erica situation. Disney suspended him once. They brought him back. They brought him back because of Hollywood and because Dana Walden, the number 2 now at Disney, wanted him back. It's time for them not to have his back anymore. Folks, we're not the kind that want to banish people from the ability to communicate. We're not calling for him to be struck from Facebook or X like the former president at the time, President Trump, was before the inauguration of Biden. You remember that? They removed the president of the United States from social media. We're not calling for that for Kimmel. We're just saying on network TV, he doesn't belong there anymore. And he doesn't belong there because he's not restrained into the normal ethics, the normal expectations of social discourse that you would expect to see on network TV, where we do not make jokes about the death of world leaders, where we do not give the indication or the inclination that maybe it's funny for people to be deleted, especially world leaders. Jimmy Kimmel fails every single test, and the Disney company under Josh D'Amaro has a decision to make. But here's what I'm going to tell you. This is what you need to know. Wall Street is going to decide. And why? Wall Street will decide because Dana Walden at number 2 was essentially placed there by Bob Iger. But Wall Street decided that Josh D'Amaro would be the head of the Disney company, and Josh D'Amaro is a parks guy. But Josh D'Amaro now has to step over Dana Walden and do whatever Wall Street wants. And what should Wall Street want? Well, folks, how's this going to go for the parks? How's this going to go for Toy Story 5? How's this going to go for Pixar? How's this going to go for the movies? How's this going to go for Disney Plus? If half the country knows that Disney will employ someone who despises them to such a degree that it's at least within the realm of possibility that he doesn't want them alive anymore. What are we supposed to take from this? What are we supposed to take from this except that Jimmy Kimmel believes that everyone who supports the President of the United States and the First Lady, that they're just as vile as they are, or at least they're too stupid to know the difference. And if that's the case, and if Jimmy Kimmel laughs about the destruction of the president, why wouldn't he do the same for others? Why would he stop? He made a vile lie about Charlie Kirk, and he's still on the air. He's never going to stop. He's never going to stop. He has no guardrails. He has no sensibility. He's not mature. So he must go. He can go to Disney Plus. He can go to Hulu. And he can live there. He can stay there. There will be nobody who will view him anymore. He lives on the grave of late night TV, which he and Colbert killed, sacrificed it on the altar of politics. So if you remove him to Disney Plus or Hulu, you know that nobody's going to watch him because he's just sucking off the legacy of late night. It's the only relevancy he has. It's the only power he and his wife have. He's the guy from The Man Show, right? You all remember that? That's this guy. This is the guy who does blackface as Karl Malone. He has no scruples. There's no foundation of moral, the guy doesn't believe anything. Folks, that's the story for today. Wall Street will decide. Because Wall Street's going to decide how much damage does he do. And then Wall Street's going to tell the CEO of Disney, Josh D'Amaro, this one's for you, buddy. Here's what we're going to do. Sign on the dotted line. People like James P. Gorman, Hugh Johnston, I believe they're going to make the decision. They're the Wall Street people at Disney, and Josh D'Amaro's going to do what they say. That's my opinion. And what should Wall Street do? Remove this heinous person, put him somewhere else, and do like CBS. Guess what they did? They got rid of Colbert. Now they're being paid. They're being paid. They're not paying. They're getting paid for having funny comedians on at that hour instead of losing tens of millions of dollars. Disney could do the same thing. All right, folks, that's the video for today. That's where we are. That's where things stand. I expect a decision pretty darn soon. I don't think that Disney can actually stay silent. We'll follow it. Folks, you all don't be violent. You be kind and good and courteous and give people the benefit of the doubt. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to shout out when that doubt has been shattered. Jimmy Kimmel won't stop it. But you continue to change the world to be a better place. It's the right thing to do. Ladies and gentlemen, click that like button, drop a comment down below, share this sucker around, and click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Until the next time we have the joy, the pleasure, the responsibility of spending time together, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.